So first, shout out to Corner 3 Pod for getting 100 subscribers. I don't know what are we up to now on not subscribers, followers, excuse me, on Threads. What are we up to now?
We are up to, thanks to the mayor handling his business, we are up to 129, 130. Oh, we got a new follower. 130.
I definitely should have said 150 instead of 100 because we were at like what 97. Three followers is easy work. I should have said 150. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's followed us on Threads, Instagram, and YouTube, and on whoever listens to us on all the podcasts. We appreciate y'all. I don't know where we're at on all those different platforms, but thanks to anybody who's been rocking with us. But yeah, I'll make it quick because I know we're already pushing an hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, I met Vince Carter, and it's crazy to me because Vince is my all-time favorite basketball player, right? Like there's Jordan, there's LeBron, there's Kobe, there's like Shaq, like all of these guys, and they're all phenomenal in their own right. But Vince Carter, I don't know what it was about him. He just stood out to me, and I just love watching him play. And he's the reason why I really like. I was exposed to basketball because my dad was always watching like the Lakers or whatever. But I fell in love with basketball because of Vince Carter, just the way he came out, the way he dunked the ball, the bald head, the shocks, the dunks, like everything, athletic, like just everything. But what I really appreciated about him most was just that he was always just like really like easy going, like on the court. Like you'd always see him playing around with other guys, like having fun, loose, but then he dropped like 50 on you. Like it was crazy. And he was a complete ball player, even though a lot of people just trying to, pigeonhole him into being a dunker and an athlete. So when I was a kid, I actually had asked my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't know how you're going to pull it off. But for either my high school or my college graduation, I want you to arrange for me to meet Vince Carter. She was like, all right, baby, I'm going to try. She didn't do it. But she did her best. She did her best. I believe that with all my heart. She did her best, but it didn't happen. So, I'm obviously into adulthood now, and this whole Threads thing happens. And it just turns out that I get to go down to Atlanta in February. This is before the All-Star break, I believe. And I'm down there with Lex. Shout out to Lex. And we're sort of going around like the Turner Studios or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's Tuesday night. Vince is probably going to be here because he works a Tuesday night inside the NBA shift. So I'm asking the people, I'm like, hey, are we going to get to meet the talent? And then nobody said no, but nobody said yes either. So they're showing us sort of like the behind the scenes, how the show comes together. And it's really dope how they do it. And also how they sort of scrape the internet for tweets to run during their segments. The whole thing comes together is just beautiful. But towards the end of the night, they're like, hey, do you guys want to go down and watch halftime? Like the halftime show from the studio. So we go and we sit. So we're basically sitting behind the camera. So you see the talent. So we're behind the frame. And I imagine they have people coming in and out all sorts of times. So I don't know that the talent like Shaq, Candace, and Vince and Adam knew who we were. We're just nobody cares about Threads yet. So nobody really knew who we were. But we were there. So they do have time. And it's over. So at that point, they're sort of like, all right, y'all need to leave now. So they're like, oh, they're walking this. They're like, all right, follow us. We'll go out this way. And Lex goes ahead of me. I'm sort of just kind of taking it all in, looking at the studio. But Vince starts walking toward me. And he's not walking to me, but wherever he's going next just happens to be just behind me. So I'm walking. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm about to walk past Vince Carter. Like I need to say something, but I was kind of like, hey, he's working. He doesn't really know who we are. We're not really here to see them. So I don't want to be one of those fans like, hey, Vince, let me get a selfie or whatever. So I just kind of walked by him and I just kind of nodded. I kind of acknowledged. I was like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, good. I was like, oh, he acknowledged me. So I said, hey, and I turned around because at this point he's behind me. I turned around and he stopped and I didn't expect him to stop. I'll be honest with you. So when he stopped and looked at me, I'm like, I don't know what to say. I said, I just mumbled. I was like, and he was like, what? And I was like, huh? And And he was like, what? And I was like, and I was just struggling. I could not get the words in my head. I could not get them to my mouth. I was just wanted to say, hey, you're my favorite player. I love watching you play. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame and like getting your jerseys retired. Literally all I wanted is like 30 words. I could not get them out of my mouth. So I'm literally here just like fumbling, trying to speak. And he sees me struggling. So he just sticks his hand out and we shake hands. And then I wanted to ask for a photo. And I was like, and so I said, hey, again. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, you're working. And I don't know why this was the first thing that came out of my mouth. I was like, oh, you're working, right? Like, no shit. Like, we're in the studios. Of course he's working. And he was like, he looked at me like, yeah, I'm working. And I was just like, all right, never mind. And he was like, all right, cool. So I walk out embarrassed. I'm 37 years old. I can't speak to another man without fumbling over my words. It was embarrassing. But it was just a crazy night. Like, I'm in Atlanta. It was the night it stormed down there. So like the whole city was shutting down. We almost got stuck at the studio. Like, one in a million opportunities I get to meet Vince Carter, and I just botch it. I just butcher it. And so I'm walking out, and I'm walking past the desk, and Shaq and Candace are still sitting there, but they're talking to like their people or whatever. And I'm walking out, and then Shaq is like, yo, Jimmy Butler looking mother. And I'm like, what are you talking? And I turned around because there's nobody else there. And I'm like, you talking to me? And he was like, I understand nothing. And I was like, all right, whatever. So then I walk out. And then that's it. So I got to meet my favorite basketball player of all time. And I couldn't even get words out of my mouth. And I'm pretty sure he was looking at me like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this dude? Why can't he speak? Like, why is this slow person in the studio shaking hands with me? But I shook his hand. So at least, there's no picture. For all y'all know, I could be making this up, but Lex was there. She can vouch for me. But yeah, that was my awkward meeting with Vince Carter. So hopefully I get another chance and I can actually speak to him. Mm-hmm. But if not,